started with the EFA, CFA, and the CCA. He discussed the concepts, he discussed the tables, the statistics to be reported. I hope that PPT is available with you in the portal of Campus Technology. So you can log in. Your mail ID is the username and password is the password. The first thing you should do is change the password. If you get any problem, write to sport, SUPPORT, at campus.technology. In case you find any problem regarding to your login, regarding to files are not available, certificate, etc. So certificate and the videos will be uploaded after the completion of the session, maybe tomorrow, maybe it will take 1-2 days. The fourth link is about the changing the password. First link is the files. All the files which we have shared that are already available there. I started yesterday with a little idea about, basically we look for, I differentiated between the science and the social science. I told in the social science, we have the feelings, opinions, it's thoughts. So it's not like the science, there are the units. So it's all intangible. So that's why we have to go along with, I will ask you, I cannot look at your face and deduce that this is happening. I will talk to you, I will ask you something. Now, common sense says, since it's an opinion, you cannot measure in one go. I was yesterday wondering, like, the first thing any two friends meet, how do you do? I'm fine. And then the person will start his, sad story for 1 hour. But on the first instance, everybody got a, they will always say, we are fine. How are you? I'm fine. So, are you really fine? If you are really fine, then you are why narrating for 1 hour your sad story. But at the same time, you are saying I'm fine. So opinions are something like that's a socio-culturally induced. So there's a way we have to say it. So even I have seen that when somebody is fighting with the other person on the phone, first everybody happy in the family, everything good. So first 1-2 minutes the person will say good, and then he will start fighting. So these are, culturally induced norms, like the way you should speak, you should start, etc., how to present things. All this is the learned behavior from the society. Since it's the opinions, so we should not believe what other person is saying. So there is no harm in checking. There where the philosophy of reflective and the formative comes. I tell you again, please don't get into the trap that in this area, people work in this area, this way. No, you decide how you will go ahead. You decide whether formative is apt or whether the reflective is apt in your way. Accordingly, we talked about when it comes to reflective, there is the concept of construct. The same thing need to be asked again and again. So if I'll ask Yasha about the 4 statements about the motivation, so I will get answer from the first statement only. The rest of the statement, I'm just cross-checking whether Yasha is telling me the truth or not, whether she is consistent or not. But answer is about motivation. Answer is not about the 4 statements. So it's immaterial whether there are 2 statements or the 6 or the 4 or 5, doesn't matter, because answer I get only from the first. Others are only for the checking purpose. That's why there is some term called construct validity. Construct must be okay. So convergent and discriminant validity should be there. At the same time, when it is the formative, then the most important thing is the content validity. In the formative, the most important thing is the content validity. And today we'll discuss a little bit more about that, all these things, statistics. Yesterday, one of the friend gave me feedback. He said the session was good, but entire statistics without using any board, any file, any PPT, it was, you are just saying, maybe you understood and a lot many people, they couldn't understood anything. That's a very honest feedback. That's really wonderful. But today we'll try to connect looking at the various statistics working. So today it's going to be a bombardment of the softwares. I will work on Spss, Amos, Rstudio, PLS, Adenco, and there will be a bombardment of all sort of the softwares. So if there is anybody who's the, I call as the research baby, you are just starting your work. So you just, enjoy the session just by looking from this perspective that there are so many things people are working upon. If you have worked on the EFA and the CFA, then you can better connect those sort of nitty-gritties in between. So it's okay. I already understand that you require some prior knowledge. You cannot directly start with the EFA, CFA and the CCA, but it's okay. great philosopher Funsuk Wangdu has said that, knowledge is freely distributed. You take knowledge wherever it's available. So take the knowledge, but don't worry about that. You must enjoy it. So I will request all of you once again to put yourself on mute mode and don't write anything in the chat. I will take the questions in the evening. Let me show you. I'm sharing my screen. So let me start from here. This is what we discussed yesterday. When we take response in the social science, it can be, I can take response in two ways. I can ask Dr. Gautam that, Dr. Gautam, what is your age? Dash year, right in the complete years, no month, etc. I require. So this is quantitative response, and this sort of measurement is called as the ratio measurement. It's a ratio data. Meaning of the ratio data is, let's say Dr. Gautam writes 20 and somebody else writes 40. It means the person having the age 40 years is double the age of Dr. Gautam. Okay, so it means here we can use all sort of mathematics, plus minus and the multiply divide, that sort of stuff we can write. But it's only limited quantitative. Most are qualitative, opinions, etc. So when we talk of the qualitative one, when we talk of the qualitative one, basically we can ask the different set of questions. We can ask MCQ. So it's basically MCQ and the binary. These are the questions we use when we are looking for a fact from a person. Please look for, I'm touching a little bit about the skill development. When you write about make your scale, okay, first ask yourself what I am looking from that person. Are you looking a fact or are you looking an opinion? For example, I can say Dr. Hosharmal. So I can ask Dr. Hoshar, do you have a car? Now answer will be either yes or no. Okay, it will be either yes or no. I ask the question once again, Dr. Hoshar, do you have a car? Reply from strongly agree to strongly disagree. Now, what should he answer? If he got a Maruti, then agree, and if a BMW, then strongly agree. So, do you have a car? It's something like either you have it or don't have it. So, it's something like MCQ or binary. That means facts need to be taken on MCQ or binary. Opinion, how do you like Shah Rukh Khan? That is something that can be on a scale. Now, again, when you talk about the scale, there are the two sort of the things. It can be ranking scale, it can be rating scale. Again, too, ranking can be categorized under the paired comparison and the rank order. Now, paired comparison is something which is very frequently used in advertisement research. So when advertisements are made, nobody makes one copy. One advertisement you make, it's called a copy, one copy. So they generally make 3-4 copies. And then there is a target audience. Target audience is asked to compare paired comparison, A with B, A with C, B with C, A with D, etc. And in such scenario, there is a technique AHP that can be used here. So I have a separate playlist on AHP. But most of the ranking questions are just like directly, because you see, if there are 10 options in the rank and you go for the paired comparison, the formula says the number of comparisons you require is n into n minus 1 by 2. So if you go to the 10 pairs, so 10 into 9 by 2, 45 comparisons you require, and it's very taxing. So rank order is directly rank from 1 to 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. So no paired comparison. So there a very good technique is MDS, multi-dimensional scaling, which is frequently used in the marketing for the positioning. If somebody is from the marketing, the keyword in marketing is STP, segmentation, targeting, at the positioning. For segmentation, there is cluster analysis. For positioning, there is MDS. We talk here about the skills, rating skills. Now, Dr. Sandeep yesterday talked, there are the two ways, actually 3 ways. Formative, which Dr. Hensler called causal formative, so that there is no confusion. He called it as causal formative and reflective. And then the third one is the which used in the design, etc., is the composite. Now, I'm taking composite a little bit separate, because composite is something when you can guarantee you have the idea that only these are the things and there is nothing else. Finite set is there. Nothing can be added. It's sort of a design. Dr. Sandeep shared some examples from marketing domain. Otherwise, it's a formative or reflective. What is the concept behind it? In the formative, you assume that your people will be telling you truth. Why people will lie? So they will tell you the truth. So simply ask the questions. So look for, in most of the colleges, when they take feedback, it's formative. We never check. We believe that the students they take the opportunity to tell you the truth, so they will not lie. They will tell you the truth. So we simply ask the labs or condition very good, very bad, and hostel, mess, etc. We don't cross check it. So that's a formative one. In majority of the colleges, institutions I have seen, for feedback is mostly formative. We never cross check. Okay, so in the formative, the most important thing is content validity. When it comes to reflective, in the reflective there are, very first thing, there is a term called construct. The term called construct. So construct is everything that is at the center. Now there will be construct validity, that is convergent and the discriminant validity, which we will talk in detail. And then there is something called the model fit also. Now before model fit, you must understand why model fit. Because in EFA there is no model fit. There is a directly the statements and they become the factor. So the next point comes when you report SAM. So basically these are the things to be reported. Now this is a holistic point. Please don't ask me again and again, should I report it? It's your understanding. Whatever you wish to report, you can go ahead with that. Whatever makes you happy. Please don't take my consent for everything. I am not going to give you any consent. Ask your guide. If you are writing for a journal, go for the proper citation, proper reviews, etc. Do that. What are the things? I represent statistics. Okay, so statistics doesn't favor anybody. It says whatever it is, it will say that. So when you report SAM, there are the two things. One called the measurement model, other called the structural model. I generally give one example for the differentiation. In India, if somebody wants to get married, there is one legal requirement. Legal requirement is that of age. So boy 18 and a girl has to be, boy 21 and girl has to be 18. So this is a legal requirement. Below that, even if you wish to, you can't marry. So this is one legal requirement, and there is one more requirement, just a societal requirement. You are medically fit. Okay, you must know whether you are medically fit or not. These are the two sort of requirements. Now, if a person X is more than 21 years and medically fit, it means the person is fit for marriage. We will not say the person is married. We will say the person is fit for marriage. Person may enter into any new relationship called marriage. So the two are the essential point. Now, what if the person is not medically fit? Generally, we'll say, well, you shouldn't, or maybe you should talk to the other person. And if the age is not okay, whatever, everybody is happy, everybody is ready, the boy and the girl and the parents, etc. No, law will say not allowed, absolutely. So it means the two are the essential conditions to enter into the relation. Put the same to our research and the variables. Our variables need to be, first, have certain points like validity, like model fitness. These are the essential points for a variable or for a construct to enter into the structural part. So measurement model is checking whether that construct is okay to enter into the relation. That's called a structural model or not. If like validity, etc. are not good, then there is no point going for the structure. So what are the things? Model fitness. So let me first explain you what is MLE method, and then model fitness will come. So maybe you have heard about CFI, GFI, NFI, etc. Validity concerns, there are different sort of validity: construct validity, content validity, nomological validity, and predictive validity. For criteria validity, I am not taking. Cross validation. Now this is an optional thing, but preferable thing. It says go for a large sample, 1000, 2000, split the session, your sample into two parts, apply the same technique on both, and check whether you are getting the same results or not. Now, if you are not getting the same results, what you will say? There are variations, something you have not thought of, you understood that properly. So that is, maybe in the, you have an assumption. An inherent assumption is that my entire target audience, my entire sample I have collected, that is homogeneous. How do you know? Have you checked it? They are homogeneous or not? So how to check with that? One method, apply the cluster analysis, but that is not applicable here. So here there is something called the finite mix segmentation, FIMIX. There is a there are two procedures, FIMIX and POS. So two procedures are there. Using that, you can segment. You can check whether there are any groups. So randomly divide. Now this division is actually on two bases. One, when there is a non-parameter to check the heterogeneity. Second is unknown parameter. Known parameter is called as the invariance. For example, I see, well, see, there is always a difference between boys and girls, between married and unmarried, between the various states, different languages, different subjects. So one, I assume that these are the things. But at the same time, there is some other, see, these are most of the demographics, but actually segmentation may be on the psychographics. That psychographic is checked with the help of either cross-validation or there is something called the segmentation. So that is again a wonderful concept. You must, but that works on a large sample when you have sufficiently large sample. So a simple method for that is you divide your sample into two portions, randomly 50% each, and try to apply the same EFA, CFA, etc., and see whether you get almost same result. If you are not getting the same results, it means there are some hidden invisible sort of irregularities are there in the sample. Something is going on in the sample. Identify those thing and report that. Okay, that need to be done. That is called cross-validation. So basically cross-validation invariance test is there, and then there is something segmentation. Then comes the method biasness. I talked yesterday, we are always interested. So see, it's something like, let me give an example. Let's say we are talking something about the year 1100. Okay. So in the 1100, somebody say, you know, one person was, we have not seen that person from some months. After 1 year or back, he came and he said that actually I went to Kabul. Okay, from Delhi, I went to Kabul. So, and there, this is the scenario. Now we will be surprised. Well, you went to Kabul. Okay, by land, you went to Kabul. So we'll ask, okay, then when you went, were there any sort of the rivers in between? Can you recall the name of the river, what people called the river? Was there any desert in between? Were there any hills in between? Were there, what sort of area were there? So person is saying, I'm coming from Kabul and this is the message. We are least concerned with the message. We first want to check whether the person has really went to the Kabul or not. So these are whether this has gone somewhere else. Like you remember that Columbus, Columbus set out for India and reached today's West Indies. And he said, I found India and called the people as Indian. He never came to India, Columbus. But the point here is validity or this sort of concern are this, whether the whatever results we will come to results. Don't worry. But first tell me whether the procedure is correct or not. If the procedure is not correct, forget about the results. They are going to be wrong. If the procedure is correct, then it's okay. We will listen to your this. Now, a point here is ask yourself. If I'm asking, are you happy today? Your happiness, one is your generally phase of the life, where you are, in which year, in which decade of your age you are, okay, that on the basis of that, then maybe in this week, etc., there is some happiness, okay. Somebody got a new job, somebody got a promotion, somebody lost a job, that is, and that on that day itself, at what time I asked for you. It means your actual result is there, but actual result then again checked again and again, will it be same? There is something called random variation, and then there is the context induced, like mood. You got a bad mood today. If I'll ask you a question, how to do away those parts, that is called the method biasness. Now, so many people now feel actually threatened. They feel, you know, I have never heard of this invariance test, cross validation. What he is going to telling me all the things. Again, somewhere I see you got a, you know, some pressure that you need to do. You are not really looking from my perspective. My perspective is, I'm just telling you, it's next to impossible to find out the truth. What's going inside a human brain? I want to check that. These are all my mechanisms. You may employ, you may not employ, but people said, see, this need to be done. This need to be checked. Invariance test, cross validation, method biasness for a method, for, you know, a really wonderful thing. It means if you are targeting for A and A star, I think you cannot go along. You cannot take the missing this thing compulsorily every single thing. Otherwise, those reviewers will not leave you. They will ask every single question. If you are doing the thesis for the PhD, etc., it's okay. People may not mention all the things, but please don't look from that point, whether publication, thesis, etc. Look from this a wonderful thing. Can you see this? The journey we are on. Isn't it a wonderful thing? Just like going into the space, going into the somebody's brain and try to find out, and how you will know that this is the real fact, not the additional things, not those contaminations. That's what the measurement contains, so many things. The second part is the structural part, the relation between dependent and independent. It's as simple as that. One dependent, one independent. It's called simple regression. One dependent, many independent. It's called multiple regression. But when there becomes so many dependent, independent, dependent, dependent, etc., it's called mediation or the moderation. Now, all of these are in itself a complete discussion point. I understand in one session or one day, we cannot cover all. That's why I will not discuss invariance with you today. I think I have discussed that there is a complete separate playlist where I discussed configurable invariance, metric, scalar, etc., etc. You just understand that there is so much to learn. Okay, let's do it like that. There is so much to learn. So don't worry about it. Don't worry that on the day one you should know everything. Don't take like that. Don't take under the pressures, etc. So just give me a moment. Yeah, let me share the screen again and quickly take you to EFA in SPSS. So while working on the SPSS, basically we say that everything is there in the analyze menu. Correlation, regression, dimension reduction. In the dimension reduction, we have the factor analysis. I have a file, its name is a demo. The same I have given to you, but the sample size is again the same, but demo.csv file which I gave you and demo.scav file which I am working, there are slight differences in the both of these files, slight differences. So why I'm telling you, if you are working with the demo.csv, there are chances with demo.scav you will not get the same result. Okay, so please understand these are the two different. That's why I will use the demo.scav, but later I will use the demo.csv. How we go ahead with that? Dimension reduction, only the statements reset. We don't take age, income, gender, this sort of thing in the factor analysis. Only the statements which are on reflected scale. Look for reflected scale only. If you are applying factor analysis on EFA, then you will be actually in a lot of confusion because these are all different things somehow correlated, come together. How will you put it? That will be a point. If you go for reflective scale, then at least you know that they should club together, they should club together. For example, in my questionnaire, I had 6 statements on quality. I have given the coding. Coding is 1 means perhaps this is 1, highly dissatisfied, and 5 means the highly satisfied. 6 statement of the quality, and then there are the loyalty, 5 statements, satisfaction 4 statement, and behavioral intention 6 statements. I want to run EFA. Now, first the question comes, some people will certainly ask me that you told yourself yesterday that when you know the things, you have to apply CFA. You shouldn't apply EFA. Perfect. Thumbs up. Perfect. It's a case of when I know these are the 4 construct and these many statements, it's actually a case of the CFA. But here I'm telling you CFA, EFA as a part of the CFA. I'm not saying about the EFA and report EFA. No, I'm just saying as a precursor to the CFA, just applies EFA and you will see what problems will come in or whether the situation is okay or not. So yesterday I told you that it's the 2 faces of the same coin. So analyze, dimension reduction, factor, take only the things which are on 5-point scale, 5 or 7-point scale or something. All these and send this side. Look for each one by one because exactly same steps I will repeat in the Rstudio. In the descriptive, it says initial solution do you require? I will give, what is the rule? As many statements, as many factors. So how many statements I have? 6 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4, 15, 21. So it will make 21 factors. Okay, remember committee's example yesterday? So it will make 21. Then coefficient, etc. We don't require it. If you want to go for the manual calculation, then you require coefficient, whether they're significant, determinant. Remember matrices and determinant, +1 math, etc. Inverse, A inverse, matrix inverse you require. But we simply say KMO. Dr. Sandeep told you that factor analysis is something which need to be first check whether you should go ahead with that or not. KMO checks for the sample adequacy, whether you got appropriate sample or not. Bartlett test looks for whether the significant correlation is there between the statement or not. Remember, it's reflective. Reflective means they are highly correlated. Second is extraction. First look for the method is principal component. There are other methods also, maximum likelihood, principal axis factoring, alpha factoring, image factoring. By default is the PCA. What is the purpose of PCA? To get totally uncorrelated factor, no correlation at all. So what was the original one? Charles Spearman has given. Charles Spearman has given as the common factor, which is PAF. Later on, it becomes as the PCA. Based on the eigenvalue 11 or 1, more than 1. It's okay. Rotation, yeah, we use Varimax, no explanation. I have made a complete playlist on factor analysis for every single thing. What is the calculation steps of KMO, how to calculate Bartlett test, how to calculate all the tables. So please refer to that. Sort and Spss. These are the things we go ahead and we take 0.4. I told you 0.4 is not the like statutory. If the sample is of 1500, you can take as low as 0.3. And if the sample is very small, like 100 or so, you should take very high factor loading of 0.7. Please refer to the book of Hair and Black. There it's given. KMO value is 878. That's good. More than 0.6 is good. Bartlett test, it's basically a null hypothesis says that R matrix is 0. No correlation. So P value less than 0.05 means null hypothesis rejected. Sufficient correlation is there. Initially, so look at this table is the main table component. I remember Dr. Sandeep told this is the main table. Yes, this is the for all the table for taking decision. But this table in fact is made from this table. Component matrix table. From it we make all sort of the table that I have explained in the video. Please go through that. I have explained it a number of times in numerous videos how from this table actually it has given only 4 of the factors. Actually it will take how many? 21 factors. So this is the case. It will take this is which I called yesterday as the committee 21, and these are the 21 as the statements. So each statement will constitute each committee. Please remember that there is a misnomer. People have very wrong notion. They say 4 factors make the first, next for 5 statements make the second factor. No, not in EFA. That is true for the CFA. In CFA, all statements make the first factor. From the residual, all statements make the second factor. From the residual, all go into the third, and so on. So it's not like we typically say 5 statements make the first factor. That's a misnomer. That's wrong. And that's why I differentiated, like see here, if this is the rotated component matrix, which is a little bit more clean. So you can see maximum highest are less than 0.4. I have Spss. All these values which were less than 0.4, I have opted not to see. Other values are more than 0.4. So quality got a clear domination in this. Others are very low, but quality is silent in the factor number 2, 3, and others. In the second factor, there is a domination of behavioral intention. In the third, there is a domination of satisfaction. In the fourth, there is a domination of the loyalty. What about this? Any value other than that you see, this is going to be a trouble. This is going to cause problem. What sort of problem? This is called cross-loading. Dr. Sandeep gave you example of electric kettle. Where you will put it? In electric equipment or utensil? Maybe in both. So this cross-loading is the biggest enemy of discriminant validity. So looking at this, I can expect, well, there will be almost good results I can expect in the CFA. But yes, there can be a problem of discriminant validity because these values are there. So if any problem will come, do you know who to shoot? Who will be the culprit? This quality 4, behavioral intention 6, satisfaction 2, and loyalty 2. These are the 4 that are creating some sort of problem. If it is complete clean, then it means good. If the lowest one in that first factor, lowest one is greater than 0.6 or 0.7, that's very, very good. If it is less, like all are coming, but they are very, very low, like 0.4, 0.5, there will be a problem of convergent validity. Look it once again. I'm telling you how to just, you know, that doctor, an MBBS doctor, just take your pulse and tell you, okay, you got this problem. And you really wonder how he know about it, looking at the pulse. Looking at the pulse, looking at the EFAs, let's see for the CFA. If your all the values are there in the one, almost clean, In the clean, look at the last one, the lowest. This is called factor loading. What is a factor loading? It's coefficient of correlation between each statement and each factor. So if the lowest value of that factor comes out to be less than 0.6, then, or majority are less than around 0.6 or low, there will be certainly a problem of convergent validity. If the all values are like here, maximum are 0.8887. So basically you understand its mean should be 0.7. Its mean should be, those who have retained for one should be 0.7. Likewise here 0.777, 1 is low, but 659 it's okay. 877 seems good. 4 we will leave. 77655, this seems a little problem in the loyalty. Convergent validity will go low. What are the formula for convergent validity? Two are the things you need to compute. One is CR, second is AVE. What is AVE? Average variance explained or variance extracted, some people call it. So basically this beta, take the average of this beta and do its square. That should be greater than 0.5. I know some of you may not be able to connect that. What he is going speaking so much things. I will show you while working on it. Just remember, if there is a cross validity, you can just note down these points. Cross validity means problem of the discriminant validity. Low values of beta means there is a problem of convergent validity. We have a very good idea what we can expect in the CFA. Okay. Anything else we need to be reported? Yeah. Look at here. There are the 4 things we have extracted. The first value, eigenvalue is very high, 0.8. Second is 2.7. How to calculate the eigenvalue? This is nothing but the R square. This is nothing but the R square taken row wise or the column wise. So one becomes commonality. So you can just take a checklist. Let's write a checklist. I'm not showing any PPT. Those who are interested may write it down. Step number 1. There must be the Likert scale, reflective scale. No formative scale, no MCQ, no binary, nothing else. Reflective scale has to be there. The second point, KMO value should be greater than 0.6. KMO greater than 0.6. Third point, P value or significance value for Barley test must be less than 0.05. P value, Excel call it as P value, and other software, the software Spss call it as SIG value, significance value, must be less than 0.05. Fourth point, commonality of each should be greater than 0.5. This is commonality table. Initial is always 1. Now this, look at it. If there is any statement where commonality is less than 0.5, less than 50%, remove that statement, run the factor analysis once again. Commonality must be greater than 50%, 0.5. Next, eigenvalue more than 1. Now this is in the system. You need not to do anything. By default, SPSS has made it eigenvalue more than 1. Next point, variance explained by those retained. Now what is meant by extracted or retained? So we kept only, first I told you it will generate as many factors as the statement. Remember the example of committee, as many committees, as many number of people, and every person is in every committee. Now how many committees to retain? Those who are strong committees. There is a particular way of calculating the strong. We call it as eigenvalue. So eigenvalue more than 1. So these are 4. So rest are deleted, and in the second zone it made as the extracted. Out of the extracted, the total cumulative must be more than 60%. 60% means it's okay. Dr. Sandeep gave you example of kitchen. He said we have taken food, then spices, then vegetables, utensils, electrical equipment, and maybe crockery set, etc. Now this contains almost 60-70%. You got every right to say where is the gas cylinder. Gas cylinder is neither vegetable, nor fruit, nor spices, not electrical equipment, nor utensil, nor crockery. Yes, that will left out. And so many other things will left out, but majority will be covered in 5-6 heads. We are talking about majority. What is a majority? 60%. So if it is more than 60%, go ahead. That's a good news for you. Okay. Now here number of question comes that I got the 6 factors where eigenvalue is more than 1 and total cumulative becomes 80%. So can I go back and take few? 100%. You got every right. You say that there are so many factors with eigenvalue more than one, but I will take only those where it is 60%. First 3 makes 60%, so I will stop with the 3. There is one more question that initially I had the 4. Remember, I had the 4 construct, but somehow this software tells me there are the 5 factors because eigenvalue more than 1. Is it compulsory for me go for the 5? No, you can stop for the 5 factor. And actually here, there is an option in extraction. You can say fix factor as 4. You can write 4. It will extract the 4. So what it will do, it will simply won't take here this 5th one. It will generate only the 4th one. And likewise in the rest of the table, it will make 4th. That's perfectly okay. If you say 4, it will realign to make 4. Try to do it for 3. All things will be realigned into the 3. So again, because you know how many constructs you have, broadly constructs statements of the one construct will come together. Okay, because it's a common sense. When the same thing asked again and again, there is a very high correlation if the person is consistent. Problem comes only 2. What are the problems in the EFA? Number 1, you are using a formative scale and you expect something out of it. It will give you nothing because total statements are different. Second thing, people are not actually reading it. So if Yesha is giving answer any tick here without reading it, and she has not marked my triangle also, I should not include her response in my data set. Person must read, and that's just you don't require a software for checking the reliability. Just look at it and you will come to know whether it is correct or not, because in the construct one statement is reverse coding. So if all are here, one need to be here. If all are here, one need to be here. That's why person is consistent. If all are in the one line, person is not reading. Even the negative statement, person answered the same way. So that we discussed yesterday. So quick recap. Reflective scale for the EFA, checklist for the EFA. Second point, KMO more than 0.6. Third, for Barley test, P value less than 0.05. Fourth, commonality greater than 0.5 of every statement. Fifth, eigenvalue more than 1. Sixth, total variance explained more than 60%. Seventh, factor loading. There is a rotation also, varimax rotation. With PCA, compulsory varimax rotation. No argument, no query whether we should use. Compulsory you have to use. With PCA, PCA is a biased method because first factor will always be very high. Look out it. 21 were the factors. Out of 21, 39 variance is explained only by the first one. Only out of eigenvalue, see, eigenvalue is 8. When eigenvalue is 8, look at the others eigenvalue, 0.141414. It has taken the majority of the part. So it's so much biased, we have to compulsory go for the rotation, that's very max rotation. With the very max rotation, this one, what is this value? This name is rotated component matrix, and this particular term is, its name is factor loading. So what is a factor loading? It's a coefficient of correlation between every statement and every factor. Between every statement and every factor, this is the coefficient of correlation. And component transformation, this you don't require. This is required for the mathematical part. If you are doing manual calculation, then this will help you. Otherwise, not reported. This is EFA. And finally, one more thing, you can find out the reliability, because now you are happy that they are in the first factor, they are in the second, they are in the third. Now you can find out the reliability. So reliability is available here in the scale reliability. Yesterday I told you that Professor Hayes made a plugin for Omega also. Omega also calculates alpha. Otherwise you can go for the reliability. Now quickly see how to do the same with the Rstudio. Then we come to the CFA part. A quick revision of Rstudio. Let me quickly go through that, and I will show you some files I have given to you. Just see that in this file, can you see any file on Rstudio? I will take all the questions later on. No question allowed now. Okay. Just give me a minute. Let me open that file. Just give me a minute. Seems I need to find that file. I don't remember where it is. Give me a minute. A quick revision of the Rstudio, or rather a very quick revision of the Rstudio. So Rstudio was created by these two people, Ross Ihaka and Robert Gentleman. Earlier there was a language called S. So they thought of making a smaller version of S for the academic community, which will be given free of cost. That will be open source. So they called it as R, primarily because both their name starts with R, and before S alphabet there comes R. Started the project in 1992, initially in 1995, beta version in 2000, and then in Rstudio is something else. Rstudio is sort of a GUI where you can see the things, you can click, etc. Basic R is CUI, character user interface. You need to type the things. How it works? Basically, there is a base package. As of yesterday, there was 16,390 package. On 19 September, 336. In just 1 week, now it becomes 390 packages are there. Basic concept is there is a base package. On the base package, there are then 16,000 packages. You can take any package. All are free of cost. Package contain functions. Function, just like remember MS Excel, average, sum, these are the functions, count if, VLOOKUP. Likewise, there are the function. In the function, there are the arguments. Just like if you remember doing sum or average in Excel, so we write equal to average bracket A1, B1, C1, A1, B1 will be called as arguments. Now, only difference is in Excel, the arguments are the cell address. In R, there are the variables. So argument contains the variable or any other info. Please remember, R is a case sensitive language, but space independent. If you write capital X or small x, R will take them as separately. Space you can give as much and no problem with that. This is the site CRAN, right? Simply CRAN on the Google. You will find a link for download the Rstudio. Install R for the first time, click it. Basically, it will give you R 4.0 version. That is the latest one. Not very high, to 84 MB. You download it for Windows. This is likewise, it's available for Linux as well as Macintosh. R says, I'm a very wonderful calculator. So please don't worry about the input and the output. There is no provision of data entry in R. R say you please get the text file, comma separated value, CSV file, Excel file, SPSS file, Stata file, any of the file. Only thing you remember, the base package can read text file only. If you want to get a CSV file imported, so we require a package called read R. For Excel, read Excel. For SPSS, Haven, HAVEN, etc. Likewise, R says that if you wish, I can export the entire your results into document form or PDF form or HTML, maybe the apps, etc. I can do that part. So I'm a wonderful calculator. I do things very fast on a large data. That's no problem with me. So don't worry about the input and the output. You can commence ahead and just take me as a calculator. I just tried, this is actually, I took a lecture on the last weekend. The videos are available on YouTube now. I was just telling that in the SPSS, you can do cross-sectional data, but you can't do longitudinal work in SPSS. For that, there is a different software, eViews. But both taken together, you cannot do design of experiment. There is a mini tab. In 3 taken together, there is not the meta-analysis that we need to do with the comprehensive meta-analysis or meta-essential. None of these SPSS can do with a separate module, not the base package. Text analytics we require and viewer and so many other. R can do all of these things and many, many more. So it's almost 40 packages one side, R on one side. It's so much powerful and free of cost. This will be the interface which we will see. So these are basically, this is called a portion of screen. The computer term is pane, P-A-N-E, pane. Pane means a portion of the screen. So it got the 4 pane. In the first one, we will write our commands or function. I will use these 2 terms as synonym, function or command, one and the same thing. So there is something called script. There I will type my commands. Please remember, you don't need to remember the commands. Just like in Excel, you don't remember. You simply type 1, 2 alphabet and drop menu will come. Here, likewise here also. Just see here, I try to write MEA. It says, do you want to write mean or mean.date, etc. Drop menu will come. I can see my data file here. I can write my things here. Look at it. There is something called import dataset. I can import any sort of file, like demo file I have imported. And there is a history. It remembers all the previous commands. I can see the commands. This is my output. Its name is console. Console, the sort of the monitor. So there the output will come. I can write the commands in console as well as in my script file. Text output will come in the console. Graphical output will come. Tab is there, plot. In the plot tab, it will come. There is a tab called files. There is a concept of a default folder. Default folder means, see, just assume there are the two persons, me and Rstudio. Rstudio is a person. So we have a basic folder, a default folder between us. So whenever I ask R, please open the file, R will look the file. Remember, import the file from the base folder. So then from the default folder. When I will say R, please export my data, it will export to the default folder. So whatever data I have, I can keep it anywhere, but it's always advisable, either make that folder as the default folder or put it into the default folder. When you restart your PC every time, or maybe Rstudio, for every time the default folder will change to, in the my PC, there is a document. In the document, while you will install R, a folder will be created with the name of R. My PC, document R. R is the folder, that's the default folder. Every time you need to change, that's the term is session. For every session, whenever you start Rstudio, either you work on that or you need to change that default folder. I will show you when I will work. You can install the package out of the 16,000 packages. You can install any package. Once installed, they will always work. There is no need for real-time internet all the time, no. But installation and uninstallation, you require internet, else not. You don't require, like I may not connect to internet, I can work fantastically with R. There's absolutely no problem with that. So list of the installed packages will be shown here. There is a tab called package. What is a tab? In whenever any window opens, the sub menu are called as tab. And then there's a help section. In the help, all details are given. So it's as good as complete books are there. So they will explain everything, that what are the various ways, help, they will say how to write it, all the things they will explain here. This is the various sources of R package. One is on the R. So if you look at the left hand side, there is a package. So it's 16,336 packages as of 19th September. You can see this is complete list available. But you need not to go to the Rstudio for installation. For installation in your Rstudio itself, you can click on the tool, install package, and there this menu will come. You can write, for example, I have written SUMM. It says I have a Samra, I have a Samra list, summary tool. I have these packages with the SUMMA. So just click and install, it will be installed. As simple as that. And they're very small packages, you know, blink of the second, they will be installed. Some of the time what happens that some of the packages are removed from the CRAN. Maybe some people have reported some bug, maybe some calculations error or something happens. First thing, it's not like anybody will put anything on the CRAN. There is the body that checks, robust checking is there, and then they put it into the CRAN repository. Because putting it there means now they endorse that anybody can use it. There is a body which looks for these packages. But at times they are removed. When they are removed, there is another package, another repository. This is called GitHub, G-I-T-H-U-B, GitHub. GitHub is a very big repository. It's basically you can make a package and you can put it here. So this is sort of informal, and CRAN is a formal repository. This is informal repository. Like a PLSPM package, which I will speak up today. Now it's not available in CRAN, but it's always available in here. Gaston Sanchez is the person who made this package, PLSPM. So he has written it here. These are the commands. Just copy and run it in your Rstudio, and the package, you will get the package. So it's install DevTools and then install PLSPM, and this is the command. Copy and paste it there. You will work. I have made all the videos how to do that part. You can refer to that. These are the some initial packages you require when you start working. because first thing is you import a data set, read R for CSV file, read Excel for importing Excel file, Haven for the Spss stata files. If you want to calculate, majority of the things are available in the base package, both quantitative and qualitative, majority. But then for the additional things, like for skewness and package, you require a package called movements. For normality test, there is a package called NOR test. For univariate analysis, it's better if you want all in one go. See, mean, median, mode, quantile, standard deviation, minimum, maximum variance, all are available in the base package. But if you want in one go, all should come at the one place, neatly made, some table format, summary tool. If you want to go Excel-like functions, filter, etc., so their dplyr is there. These are the initial packages which you should work. And advanced package, this is what we will talk at least first two. EFA CFA, there is a Psyche and Lavan. EFA we can do in Psyche package. Psyche is a very big package for the people of psychology. We can, there are more than 400 functions. Everything you can do in the psychology are available here. Psyche, PSYCH. Then for the CFA and SAM, there is a package Lavan. Name is LA for latent, VA for variable, AN for analysis. Latent variable analysis, Lavan. So we will work on the Lavan also today. For PLSPM, there is a PLSPM, there is a matrix plot. There are so many other packages for PLSPM. PLSPM can do almost all the things that Smart PLS software is doing. For text analytics, we have TM, Quanteda, meta-analysis, we have software, time series, we have the software. And then I have discussed for Rstudio, those who are beginners, I covered these portions in the last week weekend workshop. If anybody is new, you can just go ahead with that. I think there are 81 videos and I have discussed right from the importing the file up to the multiple mediation, those concepts. It's a very, very simple Rstudio. You know, it's just a matter of time. Maybe at the first go, you feel like, you know, I have to do these things. But I tell you that learning SPSS was again not a very easy cake. That you need to first note down the certain things. It requires some time. Excel also. PLSPM, I have made a playlist on that, playlist on text analytics, meta-analysis. This is my friend Miklesh has made this on entire time series analysis, etc. He has done with the Rstudio. Rahul Pratap Singh Gaurav, another friend, he has explained bibliometric analytics with the help of R. So we all are working for sharing knowledge of R. Let me come back to close current tab. Let me show you the Rstudio. Now this is the Rstudio. Where are the 4 portions? So let's say one by one. How we'll start? This is one portion where I can see file, plot, package, help, and viewer. This is the console. I can write it here or I can make here. So let me just take from here, file, new, script, and shortcut is Control-Shift-N. So this becomes a sort of a text pad. Its size is small because I have zoomed it to a great extent. Otherwise, its real size is this much. Okay, but so that you can see it, I have zoomed it a lot. I think this much zoom is okay. So I will start writing the things here. This is my input. This is my output. This is sort of import or any new variable I will make. And these are the additional things like help, how many packages I have, information of all my packages. This portion is called as pane, P-A-N-E. The panes you can minimize, you can maximize. You cannot, like this one you can close, but others, this you cannot close. Environment history, you can minimize, maximize. Likewise, this I can minimize, this is full, or I can work on this maximize, help, and this one is minimized. So you can change their size as per your requirement. Change their shape and size. Like I can make this bigger or this bigger. This sort of adjustment you can do on the screen. The first point is whenever you start working, it's always good to make a working directory. So the keyboard shortcut for that is Control-Shift-H. Control-Shift-H means, or you can go for session, set working directory, choose directory. Why I am doing that? I have chosen my working directory as on the desktop, I have a folder, workshop or EFA CFA. These are the contents I have given to you, open. Now see, another good thing will happen. When I click on the file, all the contents of that folder are available here. I got this CCA papers. In that, these papers I shared with you. One up. Can you see one up? New session. Okay. Maybe some extra zoom I have done. Let me start the session once again. It will take a minute or so. So basically what we'll do, we will set the working directory. Then I will make a script. Script is a text file. You know, you can write, if you know, you can write the things in MS Word also. You can write in the Notepad also. That's not an issue. So let me share the screen once again. So this one is my console. This one is input. Now, when I say next time import data set, which sort of file? Spss file. So it says, okay, where is it? Browse. It's in the folder, this folder. Okay, because I have restarted it, that's why say this is really wonderful. You should check it once again. Import data set from Spss. Browse. Which folder it is opening? It is opening this PC document R. This PC document R. This folder it will always search for. This is the default directory. So I will say no, not every time I will go there. So let me go to session, set working directory, choose directory, and let me choose directory from here to on the desktop this folder. The advantage here is next time when I say open the file from SPSS, it will directly go into that folder. You know that 2-3 steps are left out. But if I restart R, what will happen? Next time, again, the default will be my PC document R. That will be the default directory. You should always choose. First step in R is always Control-Shift-H. That is set working directory. My file is this one, demo. Okay, demo.scav. Now file will come. It will show you preview. This is the age, profession, etc. Yeah, up to behavioral intention. Yeah, this is the same. Now it says name. It says that, you know, you can put any name. You can write here as XYZ. But earlier your file name was demo. You said, let me name it as demo. That's okay. You can name it. Format is SAV or it's something like DTA or POR or SAS data. What sort of a format? Same Heaven can take any of the file. I want SAV file. This is the code parallel which I could have written. So I could have written in the syntax as library Haven demo equal to or less than this read dot. This is the command which read the file. This is the name of the file. And then it says view the demo. Okay, so I could have written this also and I am importing it. So it says demo is the now file with 100 variable, 100 observations means rows and 30 variables means number of column. And this you can see this is my file. Good enough. And here I will write the things. This is my console where I will get the output. For clearing the console, the shortcut is Control L. Control L is clear. For example, I write here as now if I am just working on the Rstudio, the base package is available with me. Last week I explained it this way that when you go to the marriage, you know, then they say that dinner has started. So what is the first thing you do when dinner starts? You go and fetch a plate. Now you can go anywhere and take whatever dish appeals to you. You can put that in your plate. Okay. Likewise is the base package. Base package is that plate. You can have any package called to the base package. You can call any package. Now any package means first you need to have those packages installed with you. Else you can just install. Tool, install package. And now it's a checking your internet connection. I write here Psyche package I need to install. So Psyche, now it says yes, Psychometa, Psycho, Psychometric, Psychomix, Psychotools. These so many packages are there. I require the Psyche package. Click install. It will just take 30 seconds or more. It will be installed. After installation, you can cross check whether it is installed properly there. Go to the package. In the package, type here Psyche. It says yes, this package is available. Now see, name is available, it's installed. You can walk offline also, this will be available, but there is not a checkbox here. So it means one thing is installing, other thing is calling in this session. I want to use its functions. So the first step I will do, library. It says, do I want to type library? Yeah, library psyche. Now, when you are working in this one, we have to use control enter. If you are working with the console, simple press enter. Here, press control enter. The moment I press control enter, or there is this particular button, you can press run the current line. It means you need to be, this cursor need to be blink any of the line, maybe here, because it is counting the line. If you run it here or press control enter, it will run. Here also it will run, here also it will run. It's not like you have to come at the end. You are anywhere, just click on this button or control enter. If you are typing in console, then simply press enter. Now you can see the moment I run this, can you see there is a checkbox there in the library? Now all the functions are available. Now it might be like, I remember the function is eigen is the name of the function. So the moment you write eigen, it says, yeah, there is eigen.loading that is required. Do you want to work on this? So it will always tell you the function and the package. Both things it will tell you parallelly, function and the package. For example, I write alpha. It says, do you want alpha of psyche package or alpha.ci of the psyche package? Okay, it will help you. Might be you don't remember, no problem. Then there is another way. Write the name of the package, colon, and then you will get a drop list of all the functions that are available in that package. And if you want to study anything in detail, just click here and it will tell you bi.bars means this means this, best tools or this. It will give help. It's so much ready to help you all the time. Look at the two things. So one is this blue sort of a rectangle, inverted rectangle. Other is sort of a spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is files. So every package comes with lot many files. You know, when they want to explain something, the developer of the package want to tell you something, they will give you some data file and they will explain, see, read about this data file, import that data file, work on that data file. Their help will use this data file. So many data files are there. So that are pretty helpful for the trainers, because we don't need to give you any file. We will say, please open that file from that package. So these are available here. Now I have already written the code. So let me open the code. The name of the code is, it's simply Control O, open. So it's where it will search. Remember the default folder. My default folder is workshop, and here the name of the code is EFA. Let me run EFA. Require psyche, that's already being done, but let's do it once more. Then I say attach demo. Now there are three important steps. These are called IVA. The first, starting with this, other than setting the working directory, when you start working, the three are the steps. What are the three steps? The first step is import the file. Spelling mistake. Import. Then view, just see. And the third one is attach. These are the three initial steps. Import, you import the file. The second is view. If you want to see the file, then view. Remember, everything in R we will write in short form, small caps. With the view, please remember V is capital. So you need to be, the moment you start working, you will remember these things. For the view, V is capital, view. So if you don't view it, like remember this demo, you can see it here. This is with the command view. And the third is attach. For example, now I want to check the mean of the age. Let me say mean of the age. It will say object is not found. Which age? Where is age? So, well, this is here, but we have not attached this file so far. When we say attach demo and then write mean of age, it will say, yeah, 1.79 something. So when you attach it, so what happens? You can call the columns by their names. You can call the columns by their name only when it is attached, else not. So that's why the first three commands are, I have imported, view, and then attach. That's why here I will say attach demo. Okay. There is something called capital bracket, which will be used extensively. Whenever I will use capital bracket in R, it means selection. It means taking it's sort of a matrix. Remember this file, whether it's CSV, Excel file, SPSS file, they are in the spreadsheet format, row and columns are there. Okay, so we are working on the matrix. Matrix means I want only prof and income, these two columns. So how I will write? I will write X is equal to name of the file demo. The moment I write capital bracket, it means selection. First I will write row and then columns. For example, I write 2. How will I read it? From the demo, take all the rows. I have not given, so take all the row and the second column. Let's see what is the X and put it into the X. It says it means it is a profession and the values are 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, and these are the codes given with that. Fantastic. I want first these 3 columns. So I will write X is equal to, see, the X is equal to always a way of writing. If you are working in Excel, remember you work in a cell and then always you give that cell reference, cell address as somewhere else. But here we make a variable. One is this variable, okay, that is in the file. The other one is whatever you are making here, that goes here. This is in the global environment. You can type the things here. But R is so fantastic. Like if you say X is equal to 10, it will not object that you earlier gave any other value of X. It say no problem, X is 10. I will say no, X is 12. It say, as you say, boss, X is 12. X is equal to X multiplied by 10, X plus 10. So it will say no problem. It always did from the right hand side. The value of X already defined is 12 plus 10. It will be 22 and overwrite the value of X with the instead of 12. Now make it as 22. It will say, okay, it becomes 22. Okay, so it's so fantastic. If I want to work on prof and the income, how to take out? X is equal to demo bracket all the rows, comma 2, 3. What it means now? Or let me, if I don't save it in X, what will happen? The output will be on the console itself. It says there is a profession, there is an income, 10 rows it has shown, and it has 20 more rows are there. Total 100 rows are there. Fantastic. If I want only this portion, 1 to 1, so I will write it as demo, which row number 5, 6, 7, which column number 3 and 4. So I will get like this 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, 1, this much row, this much column. Please remember, I will use it extensively for taking a small section of some file. Okay, this is a little bit about our, preferably you should know, else don't worry. This is very, very simple. Just with a matter of time, you will come to that. Now what I am doing, from this, I am not taking the age, profession, income, gender, math, English, Hindi. So this is column number 10. I am going from 10 to 30. Okay, how to extract it? I have written Z is equal to demo, no row, 10 to 30. Okay, so this comes out as Z. Let me cross check it whether Z is available. It said yes, 100 observation of 21 variable. Okay, let's cross check it. Summary of Z. Summary is a command which gives you about the mean, median, etc. So it starts from quality 1, minimum, first quartile, third quartile, maximum, median, etc. It is given quality 1, 2, 3. So in the Z, I have taken only the value of see up to behavioral intention 6. Only these things I have taken. Remember in SPSS also when I was working on this, I have taken only the quality to behavioral intention 6. I have not taken age, income, gender. Here I have selected this way, but in the R I have written this way that using the selection command, this is the selection command 10 to 30. Now, second step, what is, let me clear the console. Second step here is we need to find out the coefficient of correlation. We need to find out the coefficient of correlation. SPSS do it automatically, but here we will do with the command COR. COR is the command, and I write CORZ means all the value of all possible. Find the correlation of everyone with everyone and put it into the R. Run. Shall I show you the R? Simply write R. This one is the value. It gives a correlation of everyone with everyone. Quality with quality 1, quality 1 with quality 2.69, with 3 this, and all the values are there, all possible. Now this is what we subject to EFA. This is something which will be put to EFA all calculation. If there is anybody who's interested in how we'll do it actually in the system, I have made a playlist where I have done in Excel without SPSS how we can manually compute. You can just see the first step is find out the coefficient of correlation matrix. Now the rest of the things are very, very simple. Check the assumptions of KMO and the Bartlett test. So simply write KMO all in capital. Please remember this KMO is available inside the Psyche package only when you call this package, when you have either require or library, both will work. Either require or library, both have the same meaning. So when this is attached, only then KMO will work. Check the KMO and it will give value of KMO. So it says overall measure 8 greater than 0.6 is a good news, and it is calculated for every single step. In SPSS, for calculating for every single step, the concept is called anti-image. Here you need to click on the anti-image, then you will find out the KMO of every single statement, but R always gives you the same. The same rule is applicable for the single. Greater than 0.6 is welcome. If any of the statement is less than 0.6, so that can be a potential threat. You need to consider that. We don't shoot out, we don't put it away only from because of KMO is less, but if KMO is less, certainly it will create problem in other areas also. What about the Bartlett test? So the name of the function is core test.barley. Core test.barley. Those who are there in the previous workshop, they can recognize this core test. We have done this in the last time. Core test we have done, core test.barley. Two arguments. The first argument is write R, and the second argument is write the sample size. If you don't write the sample size, by chance I have a sample size of 100. If you don't write, only first 100 values will be taken. So core test.barley. So it says only n you have not specified. I have taken only 100. Well, by chance we had only 101. But if you have got a sample of 400, 500, you should write comma 400. The second argument. Like I have 100. So p value. Now what is this? How to read this value? It's a p value. E means 10 raised to power. E is exponential in Excel, also in all softwares. The meaning of the E is 10 raised to power. So this value is 4.3 into 10 raised to power minus 164. Can you think of? It's a 0.1630 and then 43267. So it's an extremely small value, less than 0.05. So our test is good and we can go ahead with factor analysis. Just to check it once again, what I have covered so far. I told you basics of this. You require a package Psyche. If it's not available, go to the tool, install package, right here Psyche and install. It will be installed. Once installed, you don't require internet connection. Require either the command require or library. Both are the same thing. Attach demo. Attach you need to done at the third place. First import. So import I have, it's available in environment. I have imported demo. And then view. So it's available here. I can see that demo file, all the file in the spreadsheet format that's available with me. And third is the attach. When I attach, it's ready to comply. I can give directly command. I have used demo, extracted from it after attaching. From the demo, I have excluded the first 9 columns. This could have been done this way. One other method of doing the same could be minus C 1:9. If I this way, this will again be the same. I can say don't include the first 9 columns, all the rows. It's always written how many rows, how many columns. Don't take the first 9 columns, or a better method is to specify this way that from the demo 10 to 30, all the rows and the 30 columns. Now, can you see it's saying wrong? What's wrong? It says not the bracket, right? This bracket. Okay. Now it will say, yeah, that's okay. So it will always tell you in the text editor whether there is any mistake. So when I run it, if you are running in the script, you have to either use this button. It says run and their shortcut is given Control Enter. If you are writing the same thing here, we can do it here also. Demo bracket all the row and 10 to 30. Here simply press enter, and if you are writing in the script, press Control Enter. The next thing, summary, just to check all about this, how many things are there, you can cross check. I find out clearing this, Control L is the clear the console. Next, find out the correlation. Z, what is Z? Z means all the value from 10 to 30. This much columns, 21 columns will be there. Okay. Find out the correlation of each with everything. Done. It's there in R. Now this is the R which I will use in all successive things. KMO of R, it says this is available with you. This is the KMO of the R. Overall measure of sample adequacy, it is 0.88. And if you want to, for every single one, I have computed. All seems to be great. That's a good news. Next it says core test.barley. First R and second comma, the sample size. It will check the chi-square value of 1300. I think if I'll cross check here, I hope it will be same, 1341.8. So first thing, please keep this from your, you should remove from mind. If I do with R, I will get some other results. It's something like on the lighter side, I say, if I work with the Casio calculator, FXD, I am doing 4 into 5. And if I do with a simple calculator of 50, 60 rupees, will I get the same results or different results? So everybody will say changing the company will not change the calculation. These are the calculators, whether Spss or Rstudio or Excel, calculations won't change. So calculation will be up to decimal places, it will be same. Okay, first thing, you please take it out that if I am doing with Rstudio, the result will be something else. Please take it out from your mind. It will be exactly same. You know, these calculators are made later. Earlier people used to do with manual calculations. How values can change? So values won't change. Now I'm saying, okay, then my KMO is good, my Barley test is good, and how to put it, you can just copy it this way, copy and paste it MS Word. Or there is a way I will show you how to send it directly in MS Word. That's, people got some confused in that. That's why I generally don't share that. Let's go with the eigenvalue. Find out E is equal to eigen. And if I'll simply write E, so it says, well, these are the eigenvalues. Remember, there also we used to calculate eigenvalue. The first value is 8.38. You check here, 8.38. Second is 2.7, 2.01, 2.7, 2.01. Total 4 are the, so what is this 147? It's a simply 1, 2, 3, and this is the fourth one. Like this one is the 13th one. And see, R is so intelligent. If I'll run it once again, E, now it's not a 1, 4. It will say 1, 6, because now in this line there are the 5 and this is the 6th one and this is the 21st one. All eigenvalues it has done. So how many values are there with more than 1? 4. There are the 4 values, eigenvalue more than 1. It means we have to generate the 4 factors. Similar way, this is the same we are doing in the R Spss also. Now I am writing this command PCA, Principal Component Analysis, and this is the command equivalent to my. So I started with what are the its arguments. First argument is R, that is the correlation matrix. Second, n factor is equal to 4. Where from I get this information? From the eigenvalue. From the eigenvalue, I got this information that 4 factors need to be extracted. Rotate is equal to varimax. There are other methods also for rotation, oblimean, quartermax, equamax, all methods are there. So I said, please run it and save it into X. Save into the X. Run, it says done. Let's check it, run X and run. So this got your entire output will come here. So many values will come here. So it's RC is the rotated component matrix for all are here. 1, 2, 3, 4 factors are there. Satisfaction, loyalty. Then H square is equivalent to commonality. Commonality is called here as H square. 1 minus H square will be called U square. These values it will compute. Then it will say rotated component matrix 1, loading, proportionate, cumulative, but it doesn't seem to be very nice one. No? Such a pause. Can we have a beautiful one? Yeah, certainly we can have, but remember here, now my entire output is in X. Now there is another thing. 2 are the points you should remember. One is the bracket part. Bracket part means selection from the data set. When you want to take a small subset of something, we use the bracket. When you want to take anything out of the output, we use the dollar symbol. Dollar means from the lot of output, give me only specific output. I want only this output. It means in X, can you see in the X, there is complete, everything is there in the X. So many things are there. I may not require this much things. So let me do it. X dollar, it says what? Do you want value? Do you want N community value, loading value, fit value? Shall we see this much value? It say I'm able to give you. Let's check the loadings only. So it says, well, these are the values of the loading. Now it's a much cleaner. It says I will show you only the value of the loadings, not other things. Okay. Let's check something else. X rotation. So it says very max rotation. Okay. N observation, not available. Okay, no problem. Community values. So it says these are the community values for all. You can cross check. It will be 0.8, 0.66, so on. Okay, so you can ask for, using dollar, you can ask for, I want a particular thing, not all, like fit. I want the fit. So it says 0.96. We'll come to that, how to calculate the fit. So X dollar, I want here is the loadings. But the problem here is when we write loading, it gives again so many things. Can I do SPSS like don't show me less than 0.4, don't show me these values? For that, I need to use a command print. From it, I will take loadings. And what is print? Here I will say digits is equal to 2 decimal place. I require, don't press for all, only up to 2 decimal place. And then there is something called cut. Cutoff is 0.4. Shall I see it? So it becomes a much neat and clean. Almost it's the same. So it says quality, there is one cross loading. Loyalty is in the fourth one, but there is a cross loading. Loyalty 2. Here there is a cross loading. Here there is a cross loading. And total rotated component matrix, SS loading 0.4, 3, etc. Look at the cumulative variance explained. 4 factors taken together, it's a 69%. What SPSS was saying, 68.74, that's 69%. If you do up to this third, fourth decimal place, it's a 6, 8 something will come. Remember, I have done it up to the 2 decimal place. Digits is equal to 2. If you do it up to the 3 or 4 decimal place, you will get it exactly same, 6875. Cumulative variance explained. Values will not change. Please be sure of that. So these values comes, and this is the output which you can copy and paste. What about the alpha? So how many commands actually, maybe if you are first time, it will seems like, you know, coming and coming and coming, so many things. But if you look for how many commands are there for running in R, there is a package, Psyche, that's required. Second, the file you need to attach. If the file contains only the Likert scale, you can directly put it into correlation. Else, just extract only the items on the scale need to be taken into the correlation. So that's why I used capital bracket. Capital bracket is equivalent to select option of SPSS. In the select option, we say don't do this, do this. That is equivalent to that capital bracket. Select only this much portion. Correlation I have computed. Now this is the most important because everything else will be computed with the correlation matrix. Commands are so simple. KMO, core test.barley. Okay, so if I write directly barley, no, it's a barley test is there, but this is core test.barley. Once these are assumptions, both assumptions are okay, then find out the eigenvalue. So here I have used, after computing the eigenvalue, I said round from E. Remember in the E, just see how many output is there. It shows me there are vectors are there. I don't want these vectors and values. I want value. So I have written E underscore value, but these are up to 6 decimal place. So I said round. There are 2 ways of rounding off. Either we can do it with the help of print. If I write print, I must write print and then digits is equal to 2. Or I can simply use the function as round. This value, do the rounding off up to 2 decimal place. So see, now it's much cleaner. For all 21, it has shown me 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 are the values, which 4 are the factors got more than 1 eigenvalue. This knowledge I put it here, PCA, R, second n factors. Even if you don't write rotate, this is default. Please remember, there is a concept of default argument. What is meant by default argument? First, let me write. Help is so simple. If you want to learn anything, simply write question mark and name of the command. Okay, press enter. Now I will be more than happy to tell you about the PCA, about all other things, all other stuff. Have I pressed enter? Okay. So it says this is a principal component analysis which is available in the Psyche package. It does this, and it says these are the all the things. It's just equivalent to the Excel help. It says the principal. I have written a short form PCA. That's one and the same thing. R. What is R? It should be. What are the arguments? It should be a correlation matrix. Okay, pairwise deletion, etc. Okay. N factors is equal to 1. How to know how many factors? By default, if you don't give, it will make one factor. But we know from the eigenvalue there are the 4 factors. We kept it. Residuals you want. If you don't, by default it says residual is equal to false, not calculated. Yesterday Dr. Sandeep told you residuals are one method of checking the model fit. So actual minus the whatever you computed, that's the residual value. And in the book of Andy Field, it's given that proportion of the residual less than 0.05 should be 50%. Small residuals means good model fit. But like Dr. Sandeep says, nobody mentions it in the paper. Rotate is equal to varimax. By default, there is a varimax rotation. Even if I don't write it, it will be, if I work with this, you will get the same output. There is a concept of default output, default argument. Default argument means I will say, I consider it this. If you want, you can change it. Okay, that is called a default argument. If you don't write anything, automatically it will be considered varimax. What are the other options? Look it here. You can write none, it won't rotate. You can write Quantimax, Promax, Oblimean, Simplimax, Cluster. You can write all of them for the rotation. You must know what these things are. But if you don't do anything, it will be Varimax. N dot observation, you must write the number of observation. Otherwise, it will take some of them. It's used for the goodness of its statistics. Covariance, scores. Do you want to find the component score? Missing value, how to handle, impute. So all details are given here. And not only then it will, they will tell you, okay, let's take an example. This is as good as any book. And then they will say, okay, William Revell, he has written this one. These are the citation. And this is the example. Now take this Harman 74. This one will be given with this package, Harman 24. Take that file. How to view that file? How to open that file? Simply write view Harman. Which one? 23 or 24? What is the name? Harman 24 perhaps. 23 dot correlation is there. Okay. So view. So this one will be the file. Okay. Maybe I'm not writing the correct syntax. Then write BC, etc. And the good thing is you can just copy and paste it in this script and then run it. So any of the package, when a package is made, entire help is also written. Entire help. It's as good as any book. Like Psyche, I told you it's a 400 functions are there. And it's a complete PDF tutorial is something like 500 pages, more than 500 pages. It's excellent. Now, if you are worrying about, you know, I have to write this much, how will I'll remember? Don't worry. You can just save it. And this file will be available with you all the time. For example, this is available here. EFA, and you can open this EFA even with the help of text file. Let me try to show you in the text file. How to make it the R syntax file? While saving it, it's just like the text file. Save it the extension as .R. It will become like Notepad. So this is the file. I have written it in Notepad. Simply that. I don't want this Harman, etc. Okay. So while saving it, save as, here simply write is at .R. When you write a .R, it becomes a R syntax file. You can save it here. Okay, this is the first way. The second method is while in R. See, when I open this EFA, here is also option of save. I have not made any change. Can you see this option? Save. It says, do you want to save it? If you are saving it for the first time, you can just use save as. Here also it will say where to save, and give the extension as R. It becomes R syntax file. It's as simple as that. So you can write actually with the R text file, absolutely no problem. You can open the text file, but if you write R syntax file, then the color will be green, blue, etc. The codings, it will help you in number of other ways. Text editor will help you. Otherwise, simple, that will also work. Simple text file will also work, no problem with that. So just to make a quick list of how many commands we need to run, it's just like the SPSS. So first is the package require, attach the file, second thing. Third thing is take the only that portion out which is contain the scale. Fourth one is get the correlation. Fifth, KMO. Sixth, core test. Okay, after the 6 we will start with this. Now eigenvalue to determine how many factors we need to extract. Use this knowledge in PCA. This is the main one, principal component analysis, PCA. R matrix, number factor 4. Rest all are the default argument, and then you can use X dollar loading to take only the relevant things out. You don't want to see much of the things, so it gives you neat and clean. You can just copy from here. Okay, copy and then paste it MS Word. It got a particular, its own way. People feel very happy. They don't change the font. It's a different form or put it into some box, etc. That is taken from the R. If you want to compute reliability, quickly I will go through that. Again, like if you look for the quality, instead of this, let me do for demo. Which are the statements for quality? So look, 1, 2, 3. It basically from 10, it starts 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 6 statements are there for quality. So I have used this. See, do you understand the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? From the demo, capital bracket means extract all the rows and column from 10 to 15 and name it as quality. Make a variable quantity which contains all the rows, 100 row and 6 columns. Selection. Done. Quality is done. Shall we check quality? Just write quality. What is it? It says these are the 100 row and the 6 column. These are the values, etc. Okay. Now I'm using something function called alpha of quality. It says this is the alpha I have computed. The standardized alpha comes out as 0.9. This is Cronbach alpha. It gives so many other values also, lower value, upper value. It can be as low as 0.7, 9.3, 9, etc. If item dropped, what if you drop an item, what will happen? Average R, median, item statistics, item to so many things, but you must know what these things are. R is something like a genie. Whether you require it or not, it will take it all. You will ask again things, take it all. So it gives you that first. Likewise, if you want to find out the factor score, you want to run that for regression or t-test ANOVA. So there is a command factor.score. So put the Z here. What is the Z? So Z is my that value and X is my output. So I can score goes into F. Shall we see the F? Again, F got so many things, R square, missing value, these values, weights are there. It gives abundance, so many things. I don't want this much thing. So I have done F. Only score part I have taken. Remember dollar. The output, only portion of the output I require. So now you can see in FF, this is the RC3, RC4. 4 are there up to so many decimal places. These are the standardized score. How to extract it? From the given table, when you extract something, it is always capital bracket. So I said from FF, extracted the first factor, second factor, third factor, etc. So that you can just see. So this was all about the EFA portion. I understand for the beginners, there may be a little tough, but the power of R is immense. It's immense. There is anything you can do. Now see, there is the difference. If you're working with this one, SPSS or any other software, you can do whatever is available in that option. You cannot change anything. If that is not available, you can't do it. I always give example of a canonical correlation that's not there in SPSS. So you can't run because there is no menu available. But in the R, the point is there are 16,000 packages available. Import any package, anything. You just think of, can it be done? Yes, it can be done in R. And though so simple. I understand some of you may feel like a shock for 40-volt current. What is it typing in all German language? I must remind you, when you learned, it's just I think 90 minutes in our journey of R, you shouldn't feel threatened in the first 90 minutes. You must give some time. Now you are comfortable on SPSS because you have spent a lot of time with SPSS or any other software. So I promise that if you stay 2 days on R, you will not touch any other software. It's so fast. By the time other software will open, your output will be there in the MS Word format available with you. It's so fast and so powerful. Anything can be done. Basic point is, what is EFA? Those points, the checklist which I prepared, let me quickly go through the checklist once again. Starting with the reflective skill. Second, you must work on the KMO. Third, Barley test. These are the assumption, 3 assumption. Keep aside. Next, starting with when you run, first table on the top in SPSS comes community greater than 0.5. Then next comes eigenvalue more than 1. Then the next thing comes out as total variance explained more than 60%. Then the next thing comes out as factor loading more than 0.4. Then finally you can compute reliability more than 0.6. These are the various checklists of. There are a couple of others: convergent, validity, model fitness,